Hello and welcome to another xray.tech video. Today I'm going to talk about automation uptime and what level of reliability you can come to expect with your automated workflows. Uptime is understandably a concern for many companies who are exploring workflow automation. You need your automations to run whenever you call on them, or it won't be very useful for you and your team. In this video, I'll define precisely what we mean when we talk about automation uptime and what kind of performance you can count on with Xray's automated workflows. Let's get into it. First, let's start with a definition of uptime, just to make sure we're all on the same page here. We define uptime as the percentage of time that your automation works as designed when it runs, or when it's supposed to run. For example, let's say you have an automation that sends a welcome email to each new client you sign. The automation triggers whenever you mark a deal as closed won in your CRM, and in the last 3 months you had 20 clients sign. The automation ran correctly 18 times, ran with errors once, and didn't run at all for one of your clients. That would be a 90% uptime. One situation that shouldn't be counted against uptime is when your automation encounters scenarios it just wasn't designed for. For instance, let's say you sign a client, but they're not in your CRM, so your welcome email automation doesn't run at all. You might have wanted it to run, but since there was no closed won trigger in your CRM, there was no way the automation could have run. And since the automation is working as intended, we wouldn't count this situation against uptime. To try to make sure that your automations consistently support all of your daily workflows, we'll do everything we can to address the most common edge cases that you might encounter. However, there will always be the occasional situation that nobody could have predicted, which your automation won't be able to handle. One aspect that does count against uptime is when your various services your automation leverages are not working correctly. Even the largest, most widely used services available periodically experience some downtime. You might recall Facebook going down for a while due to some bug in their code. And if AWS is down, or if your CRM is down, your automation probably won't work as intended either. This is part of uptime and downtime, since it prevents the automations from working as designed, but it's not something that an automator can control. Ultimately, while downtime from web services will impact your automations, it would also have prevented you from getting the work done manually. To summarize, uptime is the reliability rate of your automations excluding scenarios it wasn't designed for. You might experience downtime due to bugs in the automations themselves, or due to problems with the software and services the automation relies on. From time to time, you'll also likely run into situations that your automation simply wasn't designed for. So with all that in mind, no automator can guarantee a perfect 100% uptime, but what should you realistically expect? At Xray, we aim for a 95% uptime or higher with each completed automation. This rate applies to each automation individually, and an automated workflow might consist of several automations, so the uptime rate for a workflow will be a bit lower than an individual automation. If even 1 out of 10 automations isn't working correctly at any given moment, the end-to-end workflow won't run correctly. As your workflows evolve throughout your membership, you will notice that most of your automations run smoothly the vast majority of the time. Only a few automations will emerge to be consistently problematic for a while. These are typically automations that deal with the most complex or unpredictable aspects of the workflow. Most automations, once configured and used properly, will continue to operate as intended. Ensuring that your automations continue to operate reliably, even when you're adding new workflows, is one of our main responsibilities and one of the key benefits to working with a professional automator. Once your automated infrastructure is established with a few workflows, adding a new workflow isn't just like starting over from the beginning. It needs to fit into the existing workflows without compromising their consistent, correct operation. This is something that can be very difficult to manage on your own, but when working with Xray, we can ensure that your automations will work as designed in nearly every instance. All of that being said, we recommend caution when using uptime as a key metric for your organization's automations. Now, reliability is obviously important. The vast majority of the time, your automations should work exactly as intended whenever they're supposed to run, and that's what we provide at Xray. But if you're not putting uptime and downtime into context, these stats can be very misleading. With a manual process, you often have no idea what your uptime really is. You don't know if every signed client got a welcome email or if every online purchase was logged in your inventory. And worst of all, sometimes you can't even find out. With manual systems, you often have to wait for catastrophic errors to occur before you discover the problem. But when you automate your workflows, you gain much more visibility into the processes and the data. And as a result, you see all sorts of trends, insights, and events that previously went unnoticed, and that includes the flaws and errors in the system. We'll do everything we can to ensure 95% or higher uptime, but it's often best to focus on the results anyway. Is your team able to get more done? Are they able to spend more of their time making decisions? Are your clients happier with the work and support that you're providing? When you build an automated workflow, the goal is to improve the process and its results. So the concrete outcomes of your automations and the value they deliver matter much more than any one uptime metric. I hope this video helped to clarify what you can expect from automation uptime and how you can put that statistic into context with the bigger picture. If you have any questions at all about how we build and maintain automated workflows at Xray, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more automation tips every week. If you'd like to learn more about no-code and low-code automation, you can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can find all of our content on our website at xray.tech. You can check all those links in the description down below, and as always, don't forget, keep the flow.